We play and call it work.
Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to the next episode of Traveling Through the Realms. Today we go to the realm of Hysh, or the realm of light. Once again, we're entering the realms that we don't have as much information on, so I'm going to do my best to fill in the blanks, give you an idea of what I think life is like there, what the culture would look like, even what the architecture might look like too. The realm of light, we talked about the realm of shadows last week, but the realm of light, like we said there, orbits the realm of shadows. And the realm of light is so bright, not necessarily luminescence for sure, like how bright it is, but it's more like how far the magic can penetrate too. That when it is out front of the realm of shadow, its magics actually go to all the other realms, giving them daytime. And when it is behind the realm of shadow, then of course the realm of shadow stops that, and it becomes nighttime in all the other realms. However that exactly works in those realms, I'm not exactly sure. Perhaps they actually see a sphere light up that lights their lands, or maybe they don't see a sun at all and it's just their lands are lit and they can't exactly say why. But who knows? Every realm will act differently towards that magic anyway, so they might have all their own manifestations of it. We also know that the realms aren't necessarily flat, so can't just be this light coming in, because then it could get blocked by other things. I'm probably thinking way too hard about this in a physical and real sense, because this is a very magical thing. And that's not just to hand wave away any explanations, but it's actually more, it actually is magic, and so it doesn't necessarily follow the laws of science. The realm of light, I really look forward to seeing it develop. We've got almost every other realm, in fact I think I can say every other realm, we have developed cultures and developed factions within them. And I think the realm of light holds some great promise for some of the elven factions we might see in the future. We've got the Idoneth Deepkin and the Daughters of Cain that are kind of reminiscent of the old Dark Elves, but we don't really have anything for the old High Elves yet, besides the old models. But I could see some pretty spectacular things coming from it. Now the realm of light started off once again as a very pure thing. The lands, it's all about symmetry, it's about order, it's about math, it's actually about science and intellect. So even though we're talking about magic here, this is probably the realm that focuses the most on intelligence. Realm of metal is on industry. Realm of fire is on just living your life to the fullest. Realm of life is about life. Realm of death is about death. Those are pretty straightforward. Realm of beast is about beast. Realm of light, if I had to give one word to it or one phrase to it, would be the pursuit of intelligence. There are obviously other aspects to it as well. Now we have what's called the 10 Paradises of Hysh. Back in the Age of Myth, these were interlocking realms, whatever that means. I almost picture these realms, instead of being like floating weird oval shapes, like just kind of like a rough continent shape, I almost picture them being like these pentagons or octagons or squares and triangles, or if they are a circle, they are a perfect circle. We're talking about all these different geometric shapes on huge scales as they float around. They said they're interlocking, and so that could mean that they're close together, or that they have bridges going back and forth, or who knows what else it does actually mean. But they describe it during the Age of Myth as a finely cut gem, or delicate paper structure. In fact, where in all the other realms, the magic coalesces into something called realm stone, in the realm of light, it does not coalesce into a solid object. Instead, it shoots across the realm over and over again in these yellow-white light that they did eventually learn how to harvest and create physical crystals out of it and trap that light. It's almost like a prism where that light is just refracting infinitely off of it. And that allowed them to then harness a lot of the magics of the realm of light and create some really fantastic results. In fact, they noticed that when they would put it into their jewelry, that they could actually absorb that magic, and it would heighten their senses, it would heighten their intellect, and it would even heighten their physical capabilities. It would speed everything up. So almost the realm of light is all about the manipulation of time. And what this allowed to happen in the realm of light that we didn't really see much in all the other realms is the pursuit of knowledge and intelligence and self-awareness to a level far beyond what the other wizards and other scholars in the other realms could possibly achieve. Because how could they compete with somebody who could literally think faster than you because of magic? So if 10 years passes for you in one of the other realms, it's possible they just experience 100 years of growth and wisdom, even though only 10 years technically pass for them as well. So it's different than the realm of fire, where it's, burn bright, burn hard, because it's all about being bright in the realm of light. But it's not about burning out fast, it's about accumulating knowledge. In fact, in the original Age of Myth, if you walked around the continents, you would see all sorts of these big pillars, and on top of each pillar would be one wizard, just like in contemplation and in introspection, trying to delve deep into the meaning of the universe and the etheric void and all of the realms, trying to achieve enlightenment. And some of them achieved such high levels of enlightenment that they discovered how to no longer need their normal bodily functions, and they ascended to some weird kind of state of being where they just no longer were mortal. Now, whatever that meant, what that looks like, I'm not quite sure. I'm sure the Chaos Gods loved eating those souls because they were probably especially tasty. Now, there's obviously a downfall to this in the history of the realm of light, and that is that in the pursuit of knowledge, there was a lot of competition. That all of a sudden, when everybody's able to be super smart, it's like Syndrome said, if everybody's special, no one is. They would compete to see who could become the smartest. Now, sometimes this competition would be, there would be like the two pillars where they're enlightened, and then the next day the guy would look over and this guy's pillar would be higher. And he'd be like, oh, I'm not going to be outdone by him. So the next day this guy would wake up and his pillar would be higher. And they'd build these dramatically big pillars. Or they'd walk around town in their robes infused with light magic, and they'd try to shine brighter than everybody else. One thing I would imagine day-to-day life was like back in the Age of Myth for a common person was probably a little annoying, because as you walked around, everything would just, you'd see like these scholars walking by just dazzling robes. You're used to everything being bright because you are in the realm of light, for goodness sakes. But still, it's just like, come on guys, just tone it down a little bit, because that is really hard to focus when you're walking around with super bright robes. And if I pictured life, at least during the Age of Myth, and probably even now during the Age of Sigmar, in a city that is the realm of light, I picture a lot of universities, a lot of scholars, and a lot, not more wizardry than the other realms, because all the realms are just filled with magic, but more wizards in the traditional sense of wizards who are also scholars. I picture enormous libraries filled with information. The look of the architecture, everything is very smooth and white and gold, and very, very bright in that kind of colors, with probably some offsetting colors to make it even more beautiful. That instead of normal mountains, you would see these really interesting prism-like things that are growing up. Now, of course, as you get more towards the center of the realm, it becomes more normal, and so things would become less fantastic like this. But I just picture superstructures of just epic geometry and epic beauty because of that geometry, that you can look at it and just be so satisfied. If you're OCD, you could just be like, oh yeah, that's perfectly lined up. You couldn't get more than the fraction of a millimeter better than what it already has lined up. And then all the magics line up, and they're capturing the light, and they're creating more of these crystals that they can then use to learn even more. So lots of knowledge. I picture university cities. And of course, you're still going to have all the rest of the trade that they're going to need. You're still going to have Karajan overlords over there harvesting whatever ether gold is in their skies, although they won't have to worry about not being able to see where everything is because it's so bright. I picture the death, minions of death would have the hardest time in this area, because at least in the old Warhammer Fantasy, Old World, the light magic was very good against death. It would banish them a lot easier. So I don't picture, even after the second edition came out and we had the surge of death magic going through everything, I picture that this is the realm where Nagash would have the least influence because of light magic. Now, as with everything else, all good things come to an end. The Age of Myth did not last forever. And with this increased, insatiable desire for knowledge, as they took it to the extreme, if you're familiar with the Chaos Gods, you may be able to guess which Chaos God took a great interest in this realm, and of course that would be Slaanesh. Now, Slaanesh is imprisoned, and so there's a couple reasons why Slaanesh's followers became very interested in the realm of light. One is because they could sense their god was near. Now, that was more in the realm of shadow that they started to invade more, because Marathi, unfortunately, has been taking more souls than she's supposed to, which is pulling the Slaanesh slightly closer to the realm of shadow than he is to the realm of light. And so they are invading that, but they can still sense it on the light side as well. But also because all these people bringing everything to the excess, that is perfect for Slaanesh. Slaanesh isn't just about the excess of sexual desires, it's the excess of anything, even the pursuit of knowledge. And so they invaded, they twisted everything, they shattered the perfect order that it was there. And basically now the landscapes are a wasteland compared to the wonderful order that they used to be. They are just, you can still see the structures, but they'll be broken up. They won't be lined up perfectly anymore, and it would really bother anybody who had known just how wonderfully ordered everything was before. And the problem is, for the Age of Sigmar, that Sigmar had a hard time being able to peer into this realm to find out where he needed to send his troops. And so he sent his Lord Castellans as kind of the vanguard into this realm to be able to start to conquer little areas, but to find out and scout out where everything is. And once they were there, and once they kind of pierced through all that light magic and were able to discern it and understand it, that allowed Sigmar to see through their eyes. And once he was able to see through their eyes, he was able to better understand the realm of light. And that allowed him to then send the Stormcast Eternals to where they were needed most, and combining that with the elves and the humans and the Duradin who are there, able to push back a large portion of the Chaos invaders during the Age of Sigmar. Of course, no realm was fully retaken, some even way less than others, but this realm still has plenty of Chaos followers as well. But at least the Stormcast Eternals have retaken certain areas, and the free peoples of the alliances of humans, elves, and Duradin have been able to reestablish their footholds and still be able to harvest this ether quartz, is what they call their realm stone, and be able to use it to once again further their enlightenment, but also to help them in their fight against the Chaos Gods, and able to speed up their abilities to fight faster, outthink their opponent faster, and use that to conquer the gods of chaos. And that is basically what we know about the realm of light. Unfortunately, we don't have much more than that. I look forward, like I said, to seeing any factions that come out, because that'll probably mean in their battle tomes we'll be given more information on the realm of light. But in the meantime, if you want any more information, go check out the core rulebook. It'll give you some right there, and a little bit in line sorceries as well. So now that you finished this, make sure you go watch the battle report, which will be filmed in the realm of light. Somehow we'll use some terrain to try to best represent it as much as we can, but more importantly, we'll be using the rules for the realms of battle in the core rulebook and malign sorceries, so you can see all the cool effects that those extra spells and those extra abilities we'll be able to pull off. So go check that out right now. If you're not a Vault member, click it, get a free trial, and hopefully you'll do that because it'll help support us in being able to make all of these videos. So go ahead and check that out right now. Stay tuned next week where we'll be delving into the realm of beasts, where I actually do have more to talk about because I've read more of the novels that have actually happened in the realm of beasts, and so I have a better idea of what life is like there. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next week. Happy wargaming.